Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Planet Becky and welcome back to the Basic Build series. This is the series where I am learning how to build on Planet Zoo. The whole reason for this series is I actually really wanted to start a detailed zoo and make that into like a full series for YouTube, and I started it and I realised that I suck at building. I have just completely forgotten how to build in this game, and it was painful, I'm not gonna lie to you. So I was speaking with a good creator friend of mine, Mrs. T-Rex, I'll link her down below, and I was speaking to her about it, and I was saying I just want to get better at building, and then I watched the 3-year anniversary, and I heard Miss Plastic Swans talking about how she'd done a basic build series, and she'd uploaded them all to the workshop, and I was like, damn, that is such a good idea. That would really help me learn how to build. So here we are on the Aldabra Giant Tortoise, and we are learning to build in this game. I've had this game now for 3 years, and I realised that I'm not the greatest at building in this game. I mainly, if you've watched my Twitch or my any of my Twitch series where I've done the challenges, the time scenarios, the career modes, any of those sorts of things, I am definitely more of a game player than a builder. In fact, my builds are not great. So, but I've always kind of looked at these amazing content creators, and even seeing other people's streams, I'm like, wow, that is so cool what they have built. I have no idea how to do that. I have no idea, like, I just never kind of put the time or the effort in. I don't really know what it was, but I know that I've always wanted to get better at building, and I've done like a couple of like times in the past where I've like really focused on how something looks, and it has looked really good, and I've had like some really good feedback on it, but like I really have to concentrate for those. So yeah, I basically want to get better at building, doing different things within the game, building different things within the game, and so that is what this series is for. It is teaching me how to build. As always, I appreciate every single comment that you guys leave me. One comment recently was, could you do longer voiceovers? So that is what the next couple of episodes for this one will be, is longer voiceovers. And so I appreciate all of your feedback. If you have any feedback on how you'd be like, hey, you could have done this better by building it like X or like Y, I would appreciate that. And the other thing that I've realised as I'm playing this, so I took quite a big break from playing Planet Zoo for quite a while actually, and I realised how many of these pieces I don't realise are in the game. I had like no idea half these pieces were in the game, and so I guess in this series it's also about learning what is in the game and what those pieces can do for me. And just how to get better at the game, how to make more aesthetically pleasing things within the game. And yeah, that is like the whole point of this whole series. And I mean, I am really enjoying it so far. One little like bug that I've found whilst I'm playing these like builds is getting this right here, this whole path thing. I don't know what is going on at the moment with it. But oh man, I almost threw my whole computer out the window when that wouldn't work, and I was like, why isn't it placing? Seriously, it's an issue. But here we are. So this is the Aldabra Giant Tortoise build. So for all of these builds, I'm basically just going onto Google and basically saying, hey, this is the animal that I want to build, and typing the word enclosure afterwards. And you often find some really cool like enclosures that either other people have built like on this game on Planet Zoo, or like from like an actual zoo. And I think the inspiration for this one came from like an actual zoo, if Yagal remembers correctly. So I kind of just wanted to go for a more open, kind of naturalish looking place, and kind of just took it and went from there, really. One of the things I am trying to work on in this series is learning how to use the terraforming tools. Still something your gal is struggling with. It's also just not something that I'm kind of used to yet, but man, am I enjoying learning how to do it and learning how to use different pieces for different things, how to make things look a little bit more custom. I mean, if you have watched any of like my Twitch streams, you'll know that I just place down a fence and I'm like, yeah, that'll do, done. And I just place down a fence and then that is it. So I kind of want to, within this series, look at how zoos are building their enclosures, how everything is kind of laid out, how best to serve the animals. So this, although this is a basic build series, it's also a basic build, but basic enclosures that I could take the blueprint for and place in any zoo if I wanted to. And oh man, it is so cool to look at all of these and see how like different each of these builds is going to turn out. I'm trying to make them all a little bit different. I'm trying to make sure that they're not all like samey, which is one of the feedback that I got previously in when I was doing like some of my like not speed builds, like my franchise zoos, is they all kind of look the same. So this is kind of how I would almost build a franchise zoo sort of thing. Very simple, not much going on. Do you know what though? I do think it looks great, and I do think this is the sort of enclosure that you would see in a zoo as well. You got to make sure that they have lots of enrichment and all of those things. You got to place the duck in. You can't not. It floats. It's so cute. And yeah, do you know what? I was actually really impressed with how this turned out. It's such a simple concept and such a simple idea, but do you know what? I really, really liked it. I really love how it turned out. And yeah, just adding in those tiny little details of where things are placed and all of those things. Now, one thing I did want to add in this one was the habitat webcam. I'd never used that before. I thought it looked really cool. Now, apparently you can link that to a screen elsewhere, and as you can see here, I didn't know how to link it. So if someone can let me know in the comments how you are supposed to link that to something. I found it quite confusing, so I haven't linked it to anything, and I would like to go back and do that. I didn't know how to do that, so let me know in the comments how I can do that. Because I think that would be a really cool thing, because sometimes you can't always see them. But here is how it turned out, and man, it just looks so great. And yeah, I think I left the game running for a little bit, and I actually got quite a few babies. The babies in this, man, they just pop off. There are so many. Once you get a couple, you get so many. But I really love how it turned out, and it's just such a simple and small enclosure because they don't need a lot of space. And here is a fun fact about Aldabra Giant Tortoises. So the oldest Aldabra Giant Tortoise ever recorded is reaching the grand old age of 255 years old. That's quite old. That's like a multi-generational pet, if you would say. I don't know if you can keep these as a pet. But 225 years old, they have seen a lot. So, oh man, they're just so cute. I love them. And so yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this build. Any way that you would improve it, anything you would add. I really love how it turned out. It's such a simple and easy one. Thank you so much, friends. And I will see you in the next one.